I'll tell you how to judge it. Thanks, Pep.
Dawn a body, stomping a foreigner and a Victorian. Clap for the audience. Euro be tripping who they think they kidding. The ghost double tap him and that's putting four in him. Calling the coroner, knock off the lot of ya. Leaving the scene with more holes in the colander. Don't leave nothing for miles. Your history, turn them into Hiroshima.
Hiroshima punches,
You fucking hacks.
you're bombed in Adelaide, stop with the act. You cunts are washed up,
New buds are whack.
how about you go Nagasaki my sack? Guns in abundance,
Snipers on deck.
more knives than Zen and we slicing up heads.
Yeah.
Now Harvey is living a life of regret, cause Brim's half is good with 3 times the success.
Dawn a body, stomping a foreigner and a Victorian. Clap for the audience. Euro be
That's
tripping
flow,
who
though.
they think they kidding. The ghost double tap him and that's putting four in him. Calling the coroner, knock off the lot of ya. Leaving the scene with more holes in the colander. Don't leave nothing for miles. Your history, turn them into Hiroshima.
Hiroshima punches,
You fucking hacks.
you're bombed in Adelaide, stop with the act. You cunts are washed up,
New buds are whack.
how about you go Nagasaki my sack? Guns in abundance,
Snipers on deck.
more knives than Zen and we slicing up heads. Now Harvey is living a life of regret, cause Brim's half is good with 3 times the success.
3 times the success. Let's make it 4 then. Trip like Sean Penn. Dead men walk.
Yeah.
Hacks get blunt. Let's cut the bullshit. When a hammer gets dropped, gonna feel the toolkit. Came to win. You ain't saying you couldn't hit a lame and flip with aim assist.
Love that.
Don't train for this. Straight dangerous. Now you're both getting wet up when it's raining clips. Raining clips.
Now we'll drain your chips.
Couldn't fucking beat us if you paid to win. Unknown in the city like a stranger is.
ET's taking over like invaders in.
Bring Teo too. We're
slaying
slaying your
your
crew. Ain't propaganda, just
Stating
stating
the
the truth. Me and my German mate snapping your
Vertebrae, that's what the fuck we got breaking the news.
Baby! Okay. This one's gonna be freaking hard, man. I love everyone's delivery.
Hiroshima.
How do you judge this? How do you judge this? It's gonna come down to punchlines, isn't it? Flows are pretty dead set, neck to neck. Hype is pretty head to head as well. I'm gonna go one more run.
Dawn a body, stomping a foreigner and a Victorian. Clap for the audience. Euro be tripping who
God.
they think they kidding. The ghost double tap him and that's putting four in him. Calling the coroner, knock off the lot of ya. Leaving the scene with more holes in the colander. Don't leave nothing for miles. Your
Flow.
history, turn them into Hiroshima.
Hiroshima punches,
You fucking hacks.
you're bombed in Adelaide, stop with the
Yeah.
act. You cunts are washed up,
New buds are whack.
how about you go Nagasaki my sack? Guns in abundance,
Snipers on deck.
more knives than Zen
love
and we
this as
slicing
well.
up heads. Now Harvey is living a life of regret, cause Brim's half is good with 3 times the success.
3 times the success. Let's make it 4 then. Trip like Sean Penn. Dead men walk.
Yeah.
Hacks get blunt. Let's cut the bullshit. When a hammer gets dropped, gonna feel the toolkit. Came to win. You ain't saying you couldn't hit a lame and flip with aim assist.
Love that.
Don't train for this. Straight dangerous. Now you're both getting wet up when it's raining clips. Raining clips.
Now we'll drain your chips.
Couldn't fucking beat us if you paid to win. Unknown in the city like a stranger is.
ET's taking over like invaders in.
Bring Teo too.
We're slaying your crew.
Ain't propaganda, just stating the truth. Me and my German mate snapping your vertebrae. That's what the fuck we got breaking the
Strong
news.
finish. Big finish. So far, George Danikian, just in terms of flow and hype, fires across the board. Eurotrip not quite there for me. Flow-wise, on that second verse, I just couldn't quite feel it. George Danikian, though, just stayed locked in from start to finish. If anything, they got better as the battle progressed. It's gonna come down to bars, obviously, but before we go into bars, let me just do this. I give flow across the board to George Danikian. Just a little cleanup. First round was close. Second round was not close to me. Hype as well. I do give to George Danikian across the board. They just sound fucking seasoned, bro. They sound seasoned. You know, they work really well together. The flows are neat. Kind of similar to those guys in that last battle where it just worked. It was cohesive. It felt like this beautiful fucking, bro. It sounded like a mixtape. Like it just felt like a mixtape joint. Like, I loved it. Yeah, what a collab. It just sounded like they were collaborating. Great. Hype for George, flow to George. It's gonna come down to punchlines for Eurotrip though. And look, to be honest, they're not that far behind. They're a little behind. They got a little bit of work to do, especially because of the flow in that second verse. But punchlines will do it. Let's turn these off for a second and let's just focus solely on round one. Don gonna body ya, Danikian. I like how George Danikian is just Don now. I fuck with that heavy. Stomping a foreigner and a Victorian. Clap for the audience. Dude, is this our second audience clap bar for the night? We're doing it. Well done. Well done, everyone. I mean, Euro be tripping. who they think they're kidding. The goats double tap him, and that's putting forward him. Calling the coroner, knock off the lot of you, leaving the scene with my holes in a colander. Don't leave nothing for miles, your history turn in Berlin. Don't leave nothing for miles. No, don't leave nothing for miles. Oh, that's nice. I like that wordplay. Don't leave nothing for miles. Should we dox him? I guess they already have. Marshy's real name is Miles, so don't leave nothing for miles is like the bomb explosion wiping out everything. It's nice. Good wordplay. Your history turn in Berlin to Hiroshima. I like that. It is a bit of a stretch, the history turn in Berlin to Hiroshima. A little bit of a stretch. But I pay it, and it works well. Berlin's in there. This is a good verse. The bar is high. Euro trip. Hiroshima punches. You fucking hacks. It's pretty fucking sick. Already I'm in on this. You're bombed in Adelaide. They're both from Adelaide. Stop with the act. I'm in on this. Euro trip, I'm liking this. You cunts are washed up. Nuke bars are whack. How about you go Nagasaki my sack? Pretty funny, a little simple, but it makes me laugh. Nuke bars are whack. I just love the disrespect. This feels very disrespectful, like you're just wiping everything out that they've done here. I like this a lot. Got guns in abundance, snipers on deck, more knives than Zen. Zen with a cheeky shout out. And we slicing off heads. Now Halfy is living a life of regret because Brim's half as good with 3 times the success. Super personal at the end. Bars, I'm giving to Euro Trip, I believe. I like Danikian. I like a lot of what Euro Trip are doing here. There is a little bit of filler here. This third bar, little fillery. But to be fair, Danikian's got a little bit of filler in there as well. It's so hard because Danikian just sounds harder. Like, okay, put it this way. If we were in a room at an event, you would vote for George Danikian and you would think their punchlines are better just because it feels better. You know, and that's hype and flow, and why we shouldn't confuse that with punches. Their bars just feel better. The delivery made it so much more impactful. Euro Trip didn't quite do that. I think as well, like the actual recording of it, it sounded very choppy. I mainly noticed it with Berlin. It sounded very punched in a very chopped off way. It wasn't clean, and George Danikian didn't have that problem. They sounded like they were fucking wrecking. So that said, in terms of punches, God, I really like that finish from George Danikian, but I like the personals from Euro Trip as well. I think I'm going to go with Euro Trip. I think there's a little bit more, especially those first 2 bars are pretty lethal, and then they finish strong. So I'm going to give Euro Trip the edge on punches, but I'm going to give it 10-9. Let's go round 2. 3 times the success. Let's make it 4 then. That's a fucking wicked way to rebut that, dude. That's just such a... Bro, that makes me mad. That's such a nice way to rebut that and keep it moving. Like, you're mad because you got 3 times the success, and you're like, 3 times the success? Let's make it 4 then. Like, you've just taken that away from them so effortlessly. That's clean writing, man. I fuck with that. Stick trip like Sean Penn. I don't know what that means. Stick trip like Sean Penn. Dead man walking. Stick trip. Lethal needle. Oh, okay. Stick trip. Okay, needle. Sticking with a lethal needle. Stick trip. Okay. It's a little confusing. It's fine. These hacks get blunt. Let's cut the bullshit. Nice little bit of cutting wordplay. The wordplay is very tasty, I find, from George Danikian. It's not over the top. It's not punny. It's just smooth sailing, man. I love him. Like I said, if you weren't paying attention, you would think George Danikian absolutely demolished this. It's just... It feels effortless. It really does. When the hammer gets dropped, gonna feel the tool kick. We came to win, you ain't... I love this. The flow switch on this is gorgeous. We came to win, you ain't saying shit. Couldn't hit a lamer flip with aim assist. Couldn't hit a lamer flip with aim assist. Couldn't hit a lamer flip with aim assist. That works, I guess. A little bit awkward, but... Don's trained for this, straight dangerous. Now you're both getting wet up when it's raining clips. Bit of a fillery finish, if we're being honest. Just like a straight gun bar. Not that much in it. Unless I'm missing something. A little bit of a weak finish, but still a fucking solid verse. Euro Trip. Raining clips? Now we'll drain your chips. Drain these nuts. Sorry. Couldn't fucking beat us if you paid to win. Unknown in your city like a stranger is. Eat. Oh, that's nice as well. Unknown in your city. Fuck, really going back to these Adelaide stuff. I love this. This is great stuff, Trip. ET's taking over like Invader Zim. Hey, I'm pretty sure Martian did Invader Zim paid to win. Just saying. Seem to remember Martian doing that. Bring Teo too. Wait, throwing him under the bus as well. Teo's one of their homies from Adelaide. We slaying your crew. Ain't propaganda, just stating the truth. Me and my German mate snapping your vertebrae. That's what the fuck we call breaking the news. sick finish, though. That finish is so nice. I wish the flow wasn't so jank, man. This is definitely a fire. The flow makes it a little hard. It's a great finish. Great finish. I give Eurotrip punchlines again. This one is a little bit more of a spread, actually. First round I had it for Eurotrip 10-9. This round I'm going to give him 10-8. So there we go. George Danikian with the flow. George Danikian with the hype. Eurotrip with the punchlines. Can we play it again? Okay, yeah, we can play it again. We call him Tech.
Dogging a body, stomping a foreigner and a Victorian. Clap for the audience. Euro be tripping who they think they kidding. The ghost double tap him and that's putting 4 in them. Calling the coroner. Knock off the lot of ya. Leaving the scene with more holes in the colander. Don't leave nothing for miles. Your history. Turning Belinda Hiroshima.
Hiroshima punches.
You fucking hacks.
You're bombed in Adelaide, stop with the act. You come so washed up,
Live bars of whack.
how about you go Nagasaki, my sack? Guns in abundance.
Snipers on deck.
More knives than Zen and we slicing up heads. Now half of you is living a life of regret. Cause Brimstuff is good with 3 times the success.
3 times the success. Make it 4 then. Trip like
sick.
Sean Penn. Dead men walking. These hacks get blunt. Let's cut the bullshit. When a hammer gets dropped, gonna feel the toolkit. We came to win. You ain't saying you couldn't hit a lame and flip with aim assist.
Goddamn.
Don't train for this. Straight dangerous. Now you're both getting wet up when it's raining clips. Raining clips.
Now we'll drain your chips.
Cool.
Fucking
It's
beers
off
if you
there
pay to
already.
win. Unknown in the city like a stranger
And
is.
there.
ET's taking over like invaders him.
Bring Teo too. We're
slaying
slaying your
your
crew. Ain't propaganda, just stating the truth. Me and my German mate snapping your vertebrae. That's what the fuck we got breaking the news.
I'm gonna pay it. It's definitely off though. It's definitely off. So, goddamn, George Danikian. Okay, let's fuck. Let's look through this. I'm just going to tally up my scores because it really is going to come down to score on this one. It's a very, very close battle. I've got 2 points in it. This is a hard one. I think Eurotrip in my mind, if I wasn't just judging on paper, Eurotrip in my mind do finish really strong. So that's got to count for something, you know? It does kind of make up for a little bit of a uneven flow throughout their verse. George Danikian finishing pretty weak, really, if we're being honest. Consistent too. They really only had a couple of weak hits. Who's that? Who do you guys think won? I want to hear from you guys. I know you got vested interests. A lot of you guys have got big money and wagering on this. So what I want you to do is not just tell me who won, but tell me why they won. It's hard for Billy Mush to sound as good because they sound like they're recording off a 4th gen iPod. Yes, that is true. Euro's final finishes shat on Dons. Agreed. I agree. If a judge abstains, do we get a sudden death round? Nah. I think Euro had some great lines, but take Don on consistency by fuck all. ET consistent, not necessarily that they win. Yeah, punchline wise, I agree. I would give to Danikian for the flow and hype and punches to Eurotrip. It's not quite enough for me, so close to. Euro's finish is a banger. It is. Everybody wants bang? True. It's either side for real, but I think Euro got it. They had some killer bars, strong finishes, very few fillers. Good point. I like that, DJ. George Danikian had stronger delivery and wittier punches, in my opinion. They incorporated more wordplay with each line. I can see that. Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, I really like especially this part, you know. 3 times the success, let's make it 4 then. Shit like that just really stands out in my mind as just being so clean, you know. That's really hard to do. I'm not saying it's easier to do your big punchline at the end, because it's not. That's a great fucking break. That breaking news punchline is probably my favorite one in the battle. But the way that George Danikian do it is very slick. I do wish they finished stronger though. ET didn't fuck up the written flow though, just the delivery. Yeah. Stronger finish from GD and it's a no-brainer for sure. Agreed. Yeah. If GD could have finished stronger, this is a George Danikian battle. Punches I would give 10-9 to Euro and flow 10-8 to GD. Yeah, I can see that. I think I know who I'm voting for. It is a shame though, because this is extremely fucking close. This is a shame. This is a tough one. I do wish that Eurotrip had just kept it a bit cleaner. I think I'm going to have to vote for George Danikian. And it kind of hurts because Eurotrip finished so strong. And I do think that like I said, their punches are just better in that second round. George Danikian are just so fucking slick with it. The flow pockets and shit, it's lava. Look, it's a rap battle. It's not just punches. It's not an a cappella league. We're looking for flows. We're looking for, especially in the tag team battle, we're looking for the delivery, the back and forth, the hype. George Danikian are doing all of that. And if you were in the room Like I said, I've said it a few times now. If you were in the room, George Nikian versus Eurotrip, George Nikian, it's not even close. You know, they're bodying them just with that energy, that delivery. So I do have 10-8 for Eurotrip, but this kind of sucks. I fucking love Eurotrip. I love both those guys. I think this is a sick performance. I think that George Nikian are taking this, and it makes me feel a bit sad, to be honest. And fuck you for putting all this pressure on me by myself. But I've run the same system that I've been running for every other battle, and this is what we have. Like I said, I could nudge it 10-7, which is a massive split for Eurotrip's second round, and George Nikian still win. So here we are, George Nikian, Eurotrip. Which means George Nikian going through to battle the winner between Jim Stevens and Inglorious.
Let's get it. You pass the esky up, we taking space and aiming high. Wasted while we wayward wild and scraping by the vacant tiles. The party started and their house just wasn't big enough. So sit with us, the crew's on deck, the session set to rip it up.
Ain't sinister, just sinister. Room below us is too hot. Second story finished with 2 blocks to a new